Hello everyone and welcome to MedVize TV, where pharmacists like myself give you the information you need to better manage your health and medications. Today's topic, we're going to talk about how to save money on your medications. So today we're going to go over 10 different ways on how to cut costs on your monthly medication bills. The first one is going to be to shop around. Now, I know you love your pharmacist at XYZ pharmacy, but if you need to pick up a medication or two at a different pharmacy or a pharmacy that's a competitor of your current pharmacy to help you either buy more coffee for that week or get bills paid, it's just something that I think is going to be a good idea. Different pharmacies do have different prices for medications. However, if you do end up going to different pharmacies for your medications because of things like cost, you have to make sure that you tell the pharmacist at each of those locations all the medications you're taking, because pharmacists rely heavily on systems to ensure that your medications that you're taking don't interact with the other medications that you might have previously had stored in that pharmacy system. Since those systems are not linked, it's really important that you make sure that when you go to a different pharmacy to pick up a medication, that you tell them the other medications you're taking to make sure there's no interactions that could possibly harm you. Tip number 2 is to switch from taking a brand medication to generic. Now, this could apply to both prescription medications and also to over-the-counter medications. Generic medications are pretty much the exact same thing as the brand name medications. I will include a link to a full description and to explanation as to why that is in the description below. However, there are some exceptions to where you should be getting the brand name medications if you've been on that before instead of the generic, and they're not technically equivalent. But in general, I think the over-the-counter medications, it's almost the exact same thing if you get the brand versus the generic, and you will save a lot of money. But if you're taking in a prescription and you're not sure if it's okay to switch from brand to generic, just make sure to ask your pharmacist or your prescriber. Tip number 3 is to stop taking really expensive combination tablets. What is a combination tablet? So there are some medications that it's a 2-in-1, which basically there's 2 different medications that they formulate into one pill. And who doesn't like a 2-for-1, right? But because of the convenience of putting 2 medications into one and having to only take one of those medications, these combination pills usually come at a higher price. So if you're looking to cut costs, talk with your pharmacist or your prescriber to see if you are taking a combination medication, and see if you can split those medications into individual prescriptions, likely cutting some costs on your monthly bill. Tip number 4 is to cut pills. Now, what do I mean by that? Don't just start cutting pills and taking lower doses. Instead, talk with your prescriber to possibly prescribe you a higher dose of a medication, knowing that you're going to be taking half of that dose when you actually consume your medication at home. For example, if you're taking 50 milligrams of a certain medication, and that medication comes also available in 100 milligram tablets, your doctor could actually prescribe you the 100 milligram tablets, and then when you're back home, you can actually cut that tablet in half to take the 50 milligram dose that your doctor wanted you to be on in the first place. So you might have to see if your prescriber will work with you on that. Some prescribers might be hesitant to, but some might, say, hey, that's a great idea. Let's save you some money for the month. And now that prescription for 30 tablets that month will then last you for 2 months. However, this strategy does not apply if you're taking capsules or an extended release formulation, because those medications cannot be cut. Okay, tip number 5. If you feel like you have a medication that is fairly expensive, you can actually call your insurance company and see if that's a preferred medication on their formulary, because if it's not, you actually might be paying a bit of a premium for that particular medication, when there might be other options available in that same drug class that might do the exact same thing for you, except that your insurance company will actually charge you less money for that medication. So again, you could figure that out by actually calling your insurance company directly, or you can talk with your prescriber even to see if that would be a good option for you. Tip number 6, just like your insurance company has a formulary for the specific medications that they prefer, they also could potentially have a formulary for specific pharmacies they prefer you to go to. Not all insurance companies are like this. Sometimes it's a flat rate fee no matter which pharmacy you go to. However, there are some insurance plans that will require you to go to a specific pharmacy because it's preferred or in network, and you might actually have cheaper copays at that preferred pharmacy. But the only way to really find that out is if you actually call your insurance company to see if that is in fact the case for you. Tip number 7, ask about 90-day discounts. What is a 90-day discount? Some insurance plans actually will give you an incentive or give you a discount on your copay if you get 3 months at a time, which is 90 days, or if you versus getting just the 1 month at a time, which is the 30-day prescription. For example, usually they'll give you you buy 2 months, get 1 month free if you do 3 months at a time. So if your medication usually costs you $10 per month, there might be a situation where your insurance company will only charge you $20 if you get 3 months at a time. But again, the only way to find out is if you contact your insurance company and see if they offer those types of discounts. Tip number 8, check to see if the medication you're taking is available over the counter. For example, prescriptions like Flonase and Nexium, they used to be by prescription only, but now they're actually available over the counter. And a lot of times it'll be cheaper if you just buy it over the counter versus the copay that your insurance might be charging you. Or even if you don't have insurance and you're paying out of pocket, it's definitely going to be cheaper if you buy it over the counter versus buying it from the pharmacy with a prescription. Tip number 9, check for coupons. There are 2 different types of coupons that are available to use at the pharmacy. One is a manufacturer's coupon, which are used specifically for brand name medications usually. The other type of coupon is just a general third-party coupon that could apply to almost all medications. So to get a drug manufacturer's coupon, usually you have to go directly to the drug manufacturer's website of that drug. For example, if you're taking a medication, let's say called Symbicort, you would go to symbicort.com and then you'd be able to find a coupon directly from the manufacturer. Now, the other general third-party type of coupon, if you just go to Google and you just type in drug coupon, a bunch of them will pop up. There's a couple really popular ones out there that I'm sure will be like a first top hit. You basically print that off and take it to the pharmacy and you might be able to get a discount. But there are some downfalls to using these coupons. First, let's talk about the downfalls of the manufacturer's coupon. So let's stick with the example for Symbicort. If you get a manufacturer's coupon for Symbicort, that medication actually could be free either your first month or even the first year, or it could be like $5. But these coupons usually have fine print that has limitations as to how much they're going to pay for you, or if it's a one-time use coupon. And what happens is you start taking that medication, you really like it, and then the limitation, you meet that limitation of that coupon, and the medication ends up being hundreds of dollars. And then you're kind of put in this situation where, do you stop that? Do you have to keep paying for it? Or your prescriber might have to prescribe you something completely different. So sometimes it's kind of a trap when you use these manufacturer coupons, because you get stuck with a medication that you probably should have been taking an alternative. Now let's talk about the downfalls of the third-party coupon cards. Now, these are great. They save people a lot of money. However, the downfall of the third-party coupon cards is some pharmacies are not accepting these coupon cards anymore. And the reason why some pharmacies don't accept these coupons anymore is because when you take that coupon card to the pharmacy and they process it to provide you that discount, they actually get charged a fee from that third-party company to provide you with that discount. So a lot of pharmacies have been straying away from using that because of the impact on their business. Tip number 10. This is a little unconventional of a tip for how to save on medications, and that is figuring out if you even need to be on a certain medication in the first place. A lot of medications that people take, it might be a duplication of another medication. They might be taking 2 of the same that do the same thing. Sometimes you're on a medication that you actually don't have to be on for a long time, and there might be a way for you to get off of that medication as a whole, so you wouldn't even have to pay for any medication in that sense. But to do that, make sure you talk with your pharmacist or your prescriber to see if you can set up a plan or what it would take for you to actually get off of this medication in the future. That's all I have for today. If you have any other questions or concerns, or you want to see how you can better save money on your medications, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at richard@medvize.com. I'd love to help. As always, please do not start or change the way you use a medication without first talking with your pharmacist or your healthcare provider. Thanks for watching. Take care. You get charged for that. It's actually a lot more money because of versus the copay that your insurance might versus the